Hello and welcome back to Apple Tree Allotment. Come down on Friday morning this week to water bright and early, just after 6 a.m. So I'm just getting the sun rising over the plot. It's been very hot for the UK the last 3 days. We've had 26 degrees Celsius. I think some places have been up to 30. So I've been down each evening to water and harvest a few strawberries and even a few raspberries. Now they're starting to kick in, which is really nice. I decided to come down this morning instead of last night. So lots to do this week. I'm going to come down again tomorrow with the kids and Anna and do some harvesting as well. But today I'm going to come down and do a few little bits and pieces, and then we'll come back tomorrow. So I did bring down today some, I brought down the compost to put in the bin, I brought down some water. I've been using the water out of our IBC tank, which is getting pretty empty now actually. We do still have the other water tanks, but I've been bringing down a couple of big jerry cans of water each day as well, just to try and supplement it as much as I can. We don't have mains water on this site, so it's a case of rainwater and then anything else you can bring down. So I brought that down, and I'll give everything a good water soon before it starts to get warm. But I also brought down some more peas. So one of the pots I've grown, I've got these ones to go out. So I noticed the other day when I come down there was a few gaps where I think we've had some mice or something. There's a few little holes about, so there's a couple of little gaps. So I'm going to fill those in with some of those, and I also brought down 2 more courgette plants. So we've got some over there at the moment. I did plant one yesterday at home. We've got a bed full of sunflowers and there's a bit of a gap at the back, so I've planted some in there, one in there as well, and I've still got another 2 or 3 at home. So what I'm thinking is the bed that had some garlic in up here, I'm going to plant 2 courgettes in there. I'm trying to sort of plan for the winter into next year, sort of have to keep thinking forwards where things are going to go. So things like leeks are going to last into next year. So if I want to build things, and also where I'm going to plant stuff next year, sort of have to think about it going forwards, and the garlic as well. Obviously the garlic I planted in November or December, something like that. And broad beans I often plant in sort of October. So I'm going to plant some more courgettes in this bed, and at some point I am going to continue this bed, link it up so it's one long nice bed. But if I put courgettes in there now, obviously they'll be over by the end of summer, so I can work on that over winter. And the kids, I'll get the kids probably tomorrow on Saturday. We'll bring the kids down and harvest the rest of that garlic in the back bed over there. And then I can plant something else in there. I'm not sure. Again, I want to join these together, so I don't want anything that's going to be in all winter. It means I can't, makes it harder to work on. So either some more courgettes, although we're starting to get a bit courgette outed. I don't want to get inundated too much with them. But something like that. And then the other thing we're going to do is harvest the first early potatoes over here. So they're sort of starting to flop over, go over a bit. There's some really nice potatoes in there, so we'll harvest those. And then I've got another set of, I think they're the twister main crops, to go in that bed, with the hope that they're sort of ready for, sort of Christmas. Hopefully they'll sort of get to the end of the frosts okay before we can harvest them. Kind of worth a go is my thinking. I happen to have them seed potatoes left anyway. There was too many to fit in that area. So that's the plan for this sort of weekend. So I'm going to do some peas, put courgettes in. We're going to harvest those potatoes tomorrow, and I'll bring down those other potatoes to plant. And I might we'll see how the morning goes. I've got a couple of hours down here. I might sow some more carrot seeds in between some of the gaps, and radish, but that might be tomorrow. I'm just having a little wander around the plot. Always like to have a little wander around before I start on anything to see how everything's doing. And yeah, the plot's looking really good. Obviously it's been really warm this week, and I've watered a fair amount, so everything has really taken off. And beans are starting to kick in now. Sort of struggled to get going with them this year, but we've got some nice little beans on there and some flowers, so there'll soon be some more of those to pick. And these pumpkins that I sowed direct, they were saved seed from a good couple of years ago. I think they were the Pudsey charity ones that we bought. So they're doing really well, and they have got some beans growing up in between them as well, which is really nice. The intention is this is a sort of three sisters beds roughly. Sweet corn is always a struggle. I always struggle with sweet corn, but this one's doing pretty nicely. Hopefully that one will do okay. And we've got some nice beans. I sowed direct some beans, and these ones are starting to make a show, so hopefully they'll start to get going now. And the same in this bed. So these were I can't remember. These were pumpkins as well. Yeah, so we've got 3 pumpkin plants in here, which are sort of close together, but they have got this whole bed's worth of soil, and then obviously they'll trail out all over the place. Be hard to walk down here in a month or so, but we have got some really nice sweet corn that was sowed direct. There's quite a few of them come up now. There's a little one there. These ones are doing well, so hopefully we'll get a few of those coming up as well. The butternut squash slowly taking off. This one looks a lot happier now, starting to get going. Yeah, I think they've sort of struggled in the weather, but a bit of warm weather has done them a lot of good. So hopefully they'll get going soon. Garlic, so this bed is still full of garlic and is ready to come out, so I will get the kids to help me to harvest that. Hopefully there are going to be some nice bulbs in there. And we harvested this one last week, and they look really nice. They've been hanging up drying, so there looks some nice garlic in there. Peas are doing really well. I brought down the kids to water a couple of times, and they've been foraging in here, eating some of the peas as they come up, which is nice. It's nice. Fresh peas are one of those things, like fresh tomatoes off a plant, are really nice. So it's nice to do that, and these ones are gradually coming up. There's a few little gaps like over here I'm going to fill in today, but these first ones I sowed direct are looking really good, and we're starting to harvest them, mainly not making it home, but they're we're getting there, and hopefully we'll get a good crop off of these soon, and I'll keep replacing as I can along here. I do have another pot at home full, so I'll keep filling in these gaps and then maybe find somewhere else as well. And over here we've got I've still left this netting on because it's still sort of doing a good job. These squash plants are looking happy, slowly getting going. Hopefully they'll start to take off now. And the courgettes in this bed are finally starting to really grow. And the plots down the front I noticed they're not much bigger, the plants, I have to say, but they're starting to get some very small courgettes on and some flowers, so hopefully we won't be far behind. And the radish I sowed 2 weeks ago, I think, is starting to look really good. So I've got some more seeds with me, so I might carry on that line down a bit further, make use of this space while the courgettes are growing. And over on this first bed, things to harvest in here. So we've got some onions looking okay. Sort of the heat, they sort of looked a bit like they needed help, but they seem to be okay now. I do need to spread these leeks out, so I was going to do another row, bring some more back here. Just basically spread them out in this bed a little bit. And we're going to harvest some spinach. I might harvest some of that today. It's a little bit going to seed there already, so I'll harvest quite a lot of that so it doesn't go over. Our flowers are finally coming out, looking really nice. Always nice to have a bit of colour in between the rows, especially as other things are growing up. A few of the carrots are doing okay. This row over here is actually doing pretty well. So I might fill in a little bit of the gaps in some of these carrot rows. See if we can get a few more growing. Sort of right at the end, I think, when you can sow them, but it's always worth a go. And then one of the successes this year, this cabbage is doing pretty well, this Savoy cabbage. Pretty happy with that this year. Managed to protect it so far, touch wood. Yeah, they're looking pretty good. I'll have to probably have to rejig this netting once they grow a bit bigger. But yeah, at least they've got well established and looking pretty good. There is one sort of smaller one for some reason over there, but yeah, looking good. And then over on plot 1, so we've been picking strawberries pretty much every day, every time I come down here. Sort of seems to be best every other day, but looking pretty good. I'll probably leave them for today and pick some more tomorrow. But they're doing well. And as I said, we've started picking raspberries as well. So just 3 or 4 a day. But they've been nice as we wander around the plot. So first earlies will come out tomorrow, hopefully. Get this bed cleared and get some more potatoes in there. Hopefully they'll get a nice crop of those. Second earlies, so our 2 beds of Wilger are doing well. And our Rudolph potatoes are back here. Are pretty good. I can't remember how tall they get. I'm sure they got quite a bit taller than that, so they've got quite a long way to go. Obviously main crops don't come out till quite a bit later, September something. So they've got a fair while still. And then our rhubarb's doing really nicely. So another thing that we should harvest a bit of actually is quite a few smaller stems at the bottom ready to come up. So yeah, I need to harvest some of that. It's looking really good. It's the first time it's sort of looked a decent plant in the last couple of years. So it's good to see. And we did make that rhubarb and strawberry jam, which was really nice. So we'll make some more of that, and I'm sure we'll make some crumbles. And then the main crop potatoes. So we've got our twister, 1 bed of twister there, and then 2 beds of Maris Piper. They're looking really good. So yeah, all in all, pretty happy with how it's going at the moment. It's nice to be taking harvest home finally. Start to take things home every time I come down the plot now. Harvesting tons of strawberries, spinach, we've got chard, potatoes, garlic, a few peas, raspberries. Yeah, so it's starting to get some decent harvests to take home. So I'll get on while it's nice and quiet down here. Nice day. I don't think it's going to be quite as warm, so I think it's still going to be at 21 degrees Celsius, so still pretty warm. So get some watering done before it gets too warm, and plant some more of these peas and courgette plants. I've got all the plots watered now. Always takes longer than you expect, but it's quite a nice job wandering around looking at everything. Next up, I'm going to plant out these 2 courgette plants. So this is the bed where the garlic was, so I'm going to put 2 in here. I did think about extending this, having more peas in here, but I think we've got enough room in there. So I'm going to get these 2 courgette plants put in here, and then we'll move on to the peas. I think that's about me done for today. Got a lot done today. Got those peas in. Most of the ones in that pot I managed to find some little gaps for. So hopefully most of those will survive whatever rodents are attacking things. On the whole, their plants are doing okay. So win some, you lose some, I guess. Yeah, and the allotment's looking really good. Got those courgettes in. I need to think about what to do with the other bed when that garlic comes out. But yeah, I'll have a think about that later. I think I'll just run a lawnmower around the paths around the outside before it warms up too much again today, and then get home for breakfast. But I hope you've enjoyed watching a early morning down the allotment plot and seeing some progress. It's finally starting to get everything filling up the beds now, and starting to get some nice harvests. So yeah, look forward to talking to you soon.